Hey guys, back with another video. I'm gonna talk a little bit about my story and myself. Grew up, wasn't an ideal situation. Things in my life, parents were drug addicts to, I couldn't focus or study. I was in special ed. My parents got divorced when I was 12, got kicked out of the school district with my mom, had to move in with my dad. That wasn't great. Had anger issues, ended up getting kicked out of some more school districts, ended up going to jail, ended up getting addicted to drugs. 2005, went to treatment, and a lot of my family still did drugs. So it was very, very weird being at family functions, right, when you're one of the only people there that are sober. So thank God my wife wasn't a drug addict, and my kids aren't drug addicts. So I had my immediately family, but my siblings and my dad got sober when I was like 10. So I had that at least to look at and see. But me and him don't have a real good relationship. I don't know. I don't know if he's guilty or I don't know what he's dealing with, but I know he had a very traumatic childhood, and so he's kind of distant, and it is what it is. I forgive him. I love him. And so around 2012, we moved from one neighborhood to another neighborhood, and then in 2016, August 24th, 2016, my 14-year-old went over to stay the night at a friend's house that we didn't know super well, and we didn't know the parents. Good kid, smart kid, was not the crazy type like I was. And at 3:45 in the morning, we got a phone call, and there had been a serious accident. His friend had snuck his mom's car out and talked my son into going on a joyride with him, and they hit a tree in our neighborhood, and my son died. And I've been through a lot of deaths. I've lost a lot of friends to drug addiction, lost a lot of family members. Nothing prepares you for losing a child. It is the most traumatic thing I could ever imagine. And so about a year into grieving, I started asking questions like, I don't understand. This doesn't make sense. You're not supposed to outlive your kid, right? And so I started looking up YouTube things, and I started studying religions and spirituality, and I found a guy named Jim Rohn, and then Jim Rohn led me to Tony Robbins, and then Tony Robbins led me to Bob Proctor, and I just fell in love with Bob Proctor, and then he introduced me to Earl Nightingale and Neville Goddard and Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer. I can go on and on and on. Joseph Murphy, Catherine Ponders, right? And every one of these things and these people kept popping out for me at the right time when I needed them, with a message, with a lesson, with something to help me get through what I was going through. And so when I tell you guys, if I can do this, you can do this, without a doubt in my mind. I was down and out, you guys. I couldn't think. I couldn't hardly function. I was going to work only because it was a habit, and I was good at my job. Was able to get through till I got enough of an understanding of this material that I'm obsessed with and I'm trying to teach you, that helped me get through that traumatic experience, right? But in my environment, I was the only one changing and growing. My other kids and my wife were still struggling, and that became a big problem with me and my wife. She ended up kicking me out, right? I was trying to help her, not understanding that everyone grieves differently. Everyone takes different periods of time. Everyone does it differently. And, my life was not looking good. I wasn't working a lot of overtime because I couldn't. I was barely able to go to work and do the bare minimum. Right now I'm living on a buddy's couch. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to sell my house. I'm thinking, right, all of these things. It's like I'm getting divorced. I'm just extreme stress, worry, anxiety. My kids hate me, right? And I just kept studying. I just kept writing. I just kept praying. And my life is better than it's ever been. In the midst of losing a child, in the midst of having to help some of my children through the deepest and darkest things you could imagine a family had to go through, right? To get them through that. Now me and my daughter have an enormously strong bond. Me and Blake have an enormously strong bond. Me and Gunnar have an enormously strong bond. Me and my wife are like this now. Like, it's, you know, I have you guys write down a lot of things, and money's really easy to look at and see, right? It's love and respect and joy and happiness and these emotions that you feel that are really hard to gauge how much you've grown, right? Because it's a feeling. I promise you, you can get through whatever you're going through. This stuff works. Maybe I'm not the right person for you. Maybe you need a woman. Maybe you need someone who's not so in your face and expecting so much out of you. But I resonate with in my face, people pushing me, people pumping me up, people expecting a lot out of me. It raises me up. It makes me want to go to that next level. I don't want you to have to go through a traumatic experience. I'm begging you. Do not wait for the doctor to tell you have cancer. Do not wait for your husband or your wife to leave you. Do not wait to lose your job. Do not wait till you're addicted to drugs before you realize you need help. You don't have to wait for the traumatic experience. You can change your life right now. Make a committed decision. I'm not happy. I want to be happy. I'm going to make a committed decision to find happiness. And start this. Get one of my journals. Start daily entries. Start watching my videos or find someone else. But do what they say. I promise you, your whole life will change. There's people living in hell on earth and there's people living in heaven on earth. All you have to do is drive around and look. Please do not wait for the traumatic experience. You don't have to go through all that pain. You don't have to go through all that discomfort. You don't. Just make a committed decision. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Or I'm sick and tired of being broke. Or I'm sick and tired of being overweight. Or I'm sick and tired of being lonely. And take action. I'm here. I want to help you. I just need to know what you need help with. So I just want you guys to have a little bit of my story so you can understand where I'm coming from and why I'm so passionate about this material. It got me through the worst thing I could ever possibly have gone through. So I know it works. I wasn't living an amazing life and my life just got better. That's one scenario. I was not living a great life. On paper it looked good. Then I had the most traumatic experience that could ever possibly happen to me. And somehow I made it through and I'm 10 times where I was in the midst of going through the worst case scenario. This stuff is reality. It's real. It's the truth. Thanks guys. Have a great day. Bye.